everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you this card using Lawn Fawn's Fairy Friends stamp set. So I'm going to start by stamping out my images using my Misty tool on some white cardstock with some Memento Tuxedo black ink. I'm using this ink today as I'm going to be using my Pro markers, which are alcohol based, to colour my images. This ink doesn't bleed with alcohol based markers, so it's perfect for this card today. I've put the colours that I'm going to be using for today's card in the top left corner. I'm going to put on some music and I'll let you watch me colour for a while. So once I've finished colouring in the fairies and the little fairy house, I'm going to use my coordinating dies to die cut these out using my Big Shot machine. To create the background, I really wanted a kind of night, evening, almost Halloween-y feel to this card, like a bit of a magical night sky. So I'm using distress inks to create a blended background. I start with the abandoned coral and place that near the bottom. I don't need to go all the way to the bottom because, as you'll see, I put the stitch hillside borders in later. I then blend in the wilted grape in the middle and the blue print sketch at the top, and I just keep going backwards and forwards with the different colours until I get the look that I want. I also then wanted it a little bit darker, so I added some seedless preserves over the wilted grape and some chipped sapphire over the blueprint sketch, and then just added a bit more of that red back in to blend it all together. It does take quite a bit of time to get all the inks blended together, so I did speed this up quite a bit so that you didn't have to watch a lengthy video of me blending. So once I've done the background, I wanted to add some ice spruce distress ink onto those hillside borders that I die cut earlier. I didn't show this, but I did it off camera. Once I've got all my pieces coloured and cut ready to go, I just like to lay them out onto the card base just to work out where I want things to go before I stick it all down. I don't actually use all the pieces that I coloured and cut, but I saved these for another project. And I can't use distress inks without flicking water all over it, so I just added some droplets onto the page and then picked it up with my towel. I still wanted a bit more on that background, so once I finished with the splattering, I used the sparkle star type images from the same stamp set, and I'm just going to use some silver embossing to put these onto the sky in the back. It just makes it look that little bit more sparkly and magical. So I use Versamark embossing ink just to put a few of these over the background, and then I use Paper Mania silver embossing powder to heat these and create a really nice metallic finish onto the sky. Once my background's all finished, I can start to put the card together, so I'm adding some sticky adhesive to the hillside borders and placing these where I want them to go, and then I'll start to put my little elements onto the card. With the black swirly elements, I only added adhesive to the bottom of them and tucked them behind the hills because I wanted them to stand out from the card. I didn't want them to be stuck all the way down. I think with the exception of the one at the very bottom, I left them all poking out a little bit. For the sentiment on the card, I used the Have a Magical Day from the same stamp set and the little exclamation mark, and heat set that with some white embossing powder. Unfortunately, the powder that I've got I don't think is very good anymore, as it didn't stick very well, and I do end up going back over it with a white gel pen later on. I wanted to add a black background border to this card, so I measured out my card base panel and just created a black panel to go behind that. The card base that I'm using is actually 5 by 5 inches, So I'm just trimming this down, ready to stick it all together. I'm using some adhesive on the black panel and sticking this to the card base directly, and then I'm going to use some 3D foam adhesive on the back of the white panel just to make it a bit more dimensional. To finish up today's card, I'm using some Clear Wink of Stella glitter pen on the petals on top of the little fairy house and on the black wispy elements. I'm then going to use some black jelly roll pen just to add some little finishing details on the little fairy faces and on the doorknob. And then finally I'll use the white gel pen to add some highlights, some stars to the sky, and go over that sentiment just so it pops a bit more. A full list of the supplies used in today's card will be on my blog, which I will put a link to in the description box below. Please like, comment and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to check out my other videos on my channel, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!